Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Sailor Moon Crystal After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are talking Sailor Moon Crystal Act 14, Conclusion, and Commencement. Petite étrangère. I am Kaori Takee, and I've got two beautiful ladies with me. I've got Megan Salinas.
Hey everyone.
And of course, right next to her, an intro to Liz Rishmawy.
Yeah, you got it. What's up, everybody?
I was practicing that before we got on air, and I did it.
She did it. She did
I'm
it.
so happy. All right,
you prayed
guys.
and believed.
I did. Very nice last name, by the way.
Thank you.
And memorable, because now I'll remember. Because
Right.
I said it 50 million times in my head before we came on air. But overall thoughts of this episode, ladies?
I think it's a nice wrap up. I know that I feel like I say this every time we get together. I like the original way better. I like the original anime better. But for this particular series, this was a good way to wrap things up. And actually, it was a way more seamless transition into the next arc than I thought it was going to be. So, all in all, not bad.
All right.
I politely have a different opinion than you. I've been rewatching the subs of the original anime forever now. I have almost all the manga. I'm missing some, but like I love this and the way they portray the story better. I'm missing the novels that actually have this part of the battle. So I with the sword and everything, I didn't know about that, but I love it so much better.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I was like, what? The Millennium's coming back? She could have been queen, but she didn't? You're choosing to go to school? So, but I really loved it. And the more so that's exciting to me is because we still get more episodes after this. It's not like, okay, done, and now we have to wait like 3, 4, 5 months for a new thing. Like, again, very seamless, and I thought it was really well done, and I'm glad that whatever they had for last episode, they had more fill-in for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My overall thoughts, I thought that this episode wasn't as great as I thought it would be. I just had very high expectations for it because it's the end and the beginning. Man, Chibi, I better like her in this time around.
Scrappy-Doo of the scale.
But you know what? Like, again, I have that part of the manga where she shows up, and that is exactly what it was like, and that's why it's so exciting for me, I was reading these novels like forever, manga, and it's like just watching them come to life with the exact very similar art form and everything was really exciting for me. I really loved it. I also love how Queen
Metalia?
Yeah, Metalia. I was like, not Beryl. Queen Metalia, she always sounds like I do after I have like really bad takeout. Like, it's my favorite part of all these episodes.
That's what bad takeout does to you?
Well, like if it's really bad.
Wow.
I haven't ordered for them since then, but
I'm sorry. Wow.
I can't reach it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about some topics. Let's talk about the end of Queen Metalia. Basically, got to get that forehead.
Yeah.
Got to get it in.
Right there.
And the secret is praying. So we got Sailor Moon along with her man by her side, and then up in the moon we have Luna, who looks so cute and precious, praying, and that ends up destroying Queen Metalia. What did you guys think of this portion of the episode?
Again, I was having flashbacks to the first movie because the Sailor Moon R, the movie, that one, it has and now I'm seeing that they probably
Bless you.
Because I haven't read this portion of the manga that I'm seeing. It's like filling the gaps for me. I'm like, oh, that's where that like imagery came from as inspiration for the movie. They're filling in gaps of stuff that they didn't necessarily touch on in the show. Like, this is kind of their chance to be like, no, look, we're acknowledging that.
Yeah.
So it was very similar with the, because in the movie, the crystal breaks, and here her brooch breaks, and it was almost shot for shot the same when Prince Endymion kisses her and everything like that. It was like
It
shot
really
for
was.
shot.
Yeah,
It was
it really
very
was.
similar. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved it, and I like what she's saying too, because you're reminding me, I'm like, oh, the first movie with the flowers and no, it really was shot for shot just like that. Like I said, this part of the manga is what is missing out of my collection, that I didn't get a chance to read it, but I was wondering why I was so familiar. I was like, did I read this in the manga?
But no, it's because if you watch
It is
the
shot
movie,
for, it
it's
really
very
is.
similar.
It's the same thing with the eyes. It's like shiny, glisten. No. Yeah, but it's like, oh no, good, she's not dead. No, I really, I thought everything was seamless the way they put it together. I like the fact that we had the connection between the Sailor Scouts, like, again, because we're so used to the anime where they're there with her in spirit, but it's like now they're helping this prayer tower, and everything just kind of like seamlessly goes together, and it
Yeah, and that being said, even though I kind of like the old one better, this was very well animated.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
my God.
it was just beautiful to look at.
And you got to hand it to the soundtrack too. The music just
I
went
love
so
guitar riff.
smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a rock and roll / classical kind of.
I know, and I
was
love
right.
the
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes. So question though, that scene when we have Luna and we see her, human form next to her, that was supposed to be Princess Serenity's kind of figure, not Queen Serenity.
I thought it was Queen.
Because I thought it was too, but her hair looked more gold, and I thought I saw the those gold, like the way Serenity's dresses, that it isn't actually on Queen Serenity's in this version of the anime. She doesn't have those gold things. It's just all white with a bow. So I was curious. I watched it 2 times. I tried to freeze frame it. I was like, Serenity, Queen, Princess.
Yeah, I was more focused on Luna.
Yeah, she's so
like,
pretty.
Oh, and
Yeah,
that was it.
since you haven't seen the second film, is this your first time seeing Luna in human form then?
I have seen her in human form, but I don't know if it was based on just cartoons, because I
don't
It
think
is
they showed
something-
it in the
is-
regular anime.
Not in the regular anime, like I said in the movies,
Yeah.
but it is something they touch on
Princess Kaguya.
in the manga.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
that might be why.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
and no spoilers for anybody who, I'm sure they'll probably touch on it later in this series, and also for anybody who hasn't seen future manga, but they do actually show Artemis and Luna both in their human forms a couple of times. So I'm actually really excited, because getting a glimpse of seeing Luna's human form, I was like, yes, we're going to see Artemis in his long, flowing, beautiful hair. He looks kind of like
Kunzite.
yeah, he kind of does in his human form. It's kind of awesome. Little pretty good though.
Yeah. So Queen Metalia is beaten, and I mean, I really like obviously the soundtrack. I like. I am missing, even though they were there in human spirit. I wish. Like the classics, when you see the
When you
classics,
see them with her.
they kind of like spiritually put their hand on her.
There's
against
just
the
something
staff,
really
wand.
powerful and
Yeah.
touching about that imagery. And here it looked really pretty, but there is something just really iconic about that image of all of them standing together.
I missed seeing that.
Yeah.
And what else was there? And obviously, there's something like symbolic of her brooch breaking, obviously.
Yeah.
So. But
And I like that she didn't like assume. I don't mean to jump ahead, but I like that all of a sudden she's like, I don't have the power anymore. It's like, you're the freaking like princess of the moon with the crystal. That brooch don't mean nothing. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and then obviously after that happened, she passes out of exhaustion / prayer tiredness,
Yeah.
whatever. So we got her prince who kisses her, and of course, like all princes do, they manage to wake their princess up.
cut
with
to
a kiss.
adorable scene of Luna going, the princess was way wakened. Like that whole scene, like I just wanted to like snuggle Luna so bad. She was like this entire episode, I think it's all about Luna. She's adorable.
She was so cute in this one, and I gotta hand it to the way they show the love between prince and princess, because they didn't make it so sappy, and I was kind of worried that they would, but they just did a perfect touch to it, where she was basically just saying, I've missed you so much, and they didn't like just make out, they hugged, you know. I just thought it was a
it
great
could have
touch.
been really schmaltzy.
Yeah.
Which, being Sailor Moon, it's pretty cheesy as it is.
Uh-huh.
So it was nice that they held back a little bit on
Yeah,
that.
I like that. And, they end up getting called upon to go to the moon. And Sailor Moon's like, I can't. Yeah, well, yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I will say that something that this particular series does a little bit better is at least this one, we actually get to see the entire world, the devastation that has befallen the entire world. Whereas in the old series, it was just, this is a climactic fight taking place at the North Pole.
And nobody knew.
I also like that everything was being like, you can the shots of the whole like destroyed moon being revived again. That was awesome.
And I also like the fact that they touched on more that, like, because there's this, you look at BuzzFeed and everything, and there's a lot of jokes saying that, Mamo-chan is basically like the lamest guy. His powers, you're getting in the way. You have the weak powers. You suck. The only time you're good is if you're actually taken over by the bad guys. Then your powers are good. Yeah. But I like that they touch more on his, like, it's basically like he's basically Sailor Earth, in a way. And they touch more a lot. They did this a lot in the manga, and they really sort of touch more on it in the series, like with his power, like, you're connected to the earth. Look, we can see everything. Oh my God, my friends! So I really like how they touch on that more, and I'm hoping that as the season produces more, again, I don't remember everything I've read in the manga, but I hope they kind of touch more on these powers that he has, connecting with the earth.
Let him contribute a little bit more
like,
than,
do your thing.
A pep talk every episode.
I do think I have grown to prefer the crystal version of him over the classic version.
Anytime. I don't know what they're gonna do this season with, but if he does this whole thing like, I'm gonna break up with you, not tell you, I'm just gonna.
Oh no,
no,
I can't go through that again.
I'm not. And if we do, at least the episodes are usually a lot shorter. It's like to the punch. So maybe he'll do it for like one episode and be like, look, I was being a jerk.
It'll be a thing, and then we'll be done with it. And I'm okay with that.
Like, if anybody, like, if you probably were following me on Facebook at the time, but like, I was watching the series and constantly complaining every 2 seconds, like, this is such crap.
Oh my God.
I have a question though. Do they think now, when they're back at the moon now and Luna's like, hey, look, everything's back to normal, we're good to go, you're the new Queen Serenity, let's get this going, do we think, like, what was supposed to happen? Was she supposed to take her place and then the earth would just be left with everybody's like dead or passed out? Were they ever intending to fix that? Were they going to bring the Sailor Scouts back and like put them on the Silver Millennium with her?
I think whatever purpose they had, it was completely altered because Serenity is no longer Serenity. She is now Usagi Tsukino. So because of that, there's a lot of different things that they didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, the prince, I don't think he was expected to, live on the moon himself.
Yeah, I know. Because part of me was like, she's like, I want to live with my friends and grow to love people. I'm like, bring your mom and dad to the moon. And like, that's better. But that's just me. I'm just, I'm trying to escape my life. So
I mean, I was just thinking, if I had the opportunity to be a moon princess,
queen at this point,
take that.
Yeah, she would be queening it up.
Yeah,
queen.
On the one hand, I really would, because there's so much. If anybody watches the Nostalgia Critic, he has this whole big old editorial about the nature about Disney princess hate and about why kind of media in general focuses more on princesses than they do queens. And so part of me is like, take the queen position, it's all right.
Yeah.
But that being said, even though part of me would love that, I understand what they're going for with this one, because she's saying, yes, I am Serenity, but I'm also Usagi. And I like that she acknowledges both of those parts of herself. So and she would have to probably leave her mom and dad behind and her brother. But she has a life on Earth. It's not just that the moon is hers, but Earth is hers as well.
Yeah.
And regardless, she still got a brooch upgrade.
Yeah, she did.
She got a little legendary silver crystal flower.
Were either of you disappointed that the transformation sequence didn't change?
Yes. Thank you.
I was looking at it and I was thinking, okay, did it change a little?
No, it didn't.
It was just the brooch.
It was just the brooch. And the other thing that I was like expecting at least the wings to like go and then vanish. And the other thing I was sad about, I was like, have the crescent moon and then turn to gem.
Yeah.
Like, we know you're princess now. This is the stages. Like, there's so much confliction between knowing all these different fan bases between the manga and the original anime.
Might just like slip it in there.
Just slip it in there.
Because that does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, she ends up being the more powerful than ever.
Yeah, which is cool.
Her moon healing escalation ends up saving Earth.
That was so cool, by the way. Also, can I just say, though, maybe it's because I've been watching too much like science stuff, but like with Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever. But I was like laughing because they're like, look at the moon and all its shining brilliance. I'm like, it's reflecting off the sun. It doesn't actually have light of its own. But okay, Sailor Moon. Get into Sailor Moon now.
Sailor Moon.
It's magic.
Moon magic. Damn it.
Exactly, it's moon magic. So she's offered to spend her life as the queen on the moon, but she decides, as we've been talking about, to spend her teenage years and on back on Earth, and she also wants to go find her homegirls. So back on planet Earth, on a bridge, the girls are passed out, wake up, and she comes running in Sailor Moon outfit while they're all in their schoolgirl outfits. And it is such an emotional moment.
It is. It's so cute too. Like just the you guys. And it was just like I would have liked it to be a little more realistic with a little bit of like snot running from her nose and tears, like ugly cry face.
Yeah, when they all hug each other, it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wish I had like 2 friends like that.
That was probably the highlight of the episode for me, is just seeing them all reunited.
Yeah.
There is always that part of my heart that does get like cause me to get a little teary-eyed anytime I see anything like this.
And you gotta hand it, because for the most part, I always feel the intensity of her love with Momo-chan, but in this particular one, you really feel the strength of her and the Sailor Scouts, and it even exceeds like the love you think that she has with her man.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I like it because it's like anytime when society gets me down and we have this whole stigma about like why women are like, women shouldn't be friends with women because they're catty and this and they're backstabbing. That's when I watch some Sailor Moon, because I know it just refreshes my memory. Like, nah, it's not like that, man. This is what it's about.
Yes. It's cute. They sacrifice their powers for her, and then she ends up, basically sacrificing her royalty for them.
Yeah. And when you think about it too, it's kind of like at this point, it's like, yeah, well, you should maybe show a little more compassion and love more than your man, because I mean, technically you killed yourself for him, but not really. And then they died for you. So I think at this point they deserve a little more.
And I like how he's moving forward. He's kind of with her right now, like on the bridge. He follows her.
Yeah.
And it was really...
He's like, I got you, boo. I got you.
Yeah. It's nice to see this all happen. And I know it's not going to last very long, because there's a lot of issues that's going to go along the way.
Yep.
Makes me sad. So I'm going to enjoy it while I can.
Yes.
Enjoy your 5 minutes of peace.
I know, right?
Can I just say too, I love, because we all know as Sailor Moon fans that, Usagi shows an incredible amount of growth as a person in her maturity throughout this whole series, especially more so in the older one. I feel like it almost took longer for us to see it in the original anime. But for this, even when we see her, getting up and getting ready to school and she's awake and she's like, yeah, I've been awake for hours. We're like, good for you. You've matured. But then we get a little bit of Usagi. Like, I forgot to do homework.
Yeah.
So in her defense, who had time to do homework?
I know.
All of them?
Amy. Amy did.
Yeah.
She did.
And I did like how, it lived up to the title of the act, where it says Commencement, because everything's restarted. You see Ami back on the street, and then you see Jupiter and her meeting up and Venus doing her thing. For a second, you don't see what Ray's up to, but then you figure out it's because she's praying, and then she realizes there's something evil and sinister happening.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whose forehead that was.
I was gonna say, for you blink and you miss it, so you might have to go back and pause it. But yeah, it's definitely a forehead with the upside down dark moon on it, which I'm gonna just go off on a limb and assume that's Prince Diamond.
Possibly.
Was he in the manga? I never got that.
Yeah, he was. I think he was. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's-
I think basically the beginning of Sailor Moon R is like what I'm missing in the manga.
Yeah.
I kind of jumped from like a little bit of the original, and then I have like, oh look, she's like Super Sailor Moon, and
This manga, where it starts off, is it's Ray's covers, so it made sense that she's the one that's like, what the heck is
And I kind of like that. I hope that for the next episode when we come back, that it is an episode that focuses a little bit more on Ray, because I know we've talked about it in the past, but a lot of the individual development for the Sailor Scouts kind of doesn't shine through in this series because they're so focused on hitting all the plot points.
That's actually a very good point that you mentioned, and I look back and I think about it doesn't even give me time to dislike Ray, because for a while I disliked her in the classics, and in this one I actually really am quite fond of her. So yeah, like you said, Usagi's back in action, doing her thing, being a kid, forgetting to do homework.
Whoops.
Oops. And
how we do it.
Then there's a romantic moment when she's at the park. Well, she's kind of like creeping up I was gonna call him Darian.
Yeah.
At Mamu-chan
It's
at
okay.
the park. And she kisses him, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
And then she gives him a fixed stopwatch.
Yeah.
And he gives her the handkerchief. And did I say handkerchief right? I always can't pronounce
Handkerchief. No, you know
Okay.
what I'm laughing though at is the fact, like, I would have, like, if I was Mamoru, I would have, like, in this would be like, honey, when you're gonna go out under, like, you know, your secret identity of Sailor Moon, don't carry this with you. Don't have something with your name, but I love you. You know, like, and then kiss. Like, that's what I was thinking. But you know, that's me.
And so from the sky opens the clouds. In comes the mechanical kitty head,
Luna P.
and then comes Chibi, which I was like, oh man.
Yeah. I love, though, how much more dramatic that thing that she came out of was. Because normally in the original anime, and I think in the manga, it's just that cute little, like, swirl of cloud. It's
Yeah.
like, what is that? It reminds me of some sort of soft served ice cream. Now I'm hungry. And the only thing that happened was just Luna P. And it's like, okay. But there's like, like, just like evil portal dimension. Like, it was kind of freaky. Which definitely makes a lot more sense considering the thousand years she's traveling and everything. But that was really fun. And was anybody, like, kind of expecting, like, did the whole setup, like, did you like how that they did that? It was kind of basically exactly like how
I think it was exactly what I would have expected it to be. Obviously, her lips land on her dad's lips, which is
So gross.
creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Oh, more creep.
It's gross
More
in the
creep to come.
manga.
More creep to
I
come.
know.
In
it
the
is
manga,
very
it's
creepy.
gross in the original anime, and it's gross here.
Thank you.
Why do we have it? I know it's supposed to be played up for laughs, but that's
It's just,
stupid.
It's just really
And I like,
weird.
and then he's like covering his mouth and like blushing. I'm like, that's like a 5-year-old. Like, why are you blushing?
And he's like freaked out the whole entire time that she's like, oh, you're Usagi Tsukino. Let me bust out this gun. And she puts it to
love
her
her
head.
outfit better though. I love it better in it's this version with the dark color instead of the white one. Like, I really love her outfit better. I do.
And not to be a jerk, but I really didn't like her voice in the American classics.
in the
Are we talking about English or?
Original English.
Oh yeah, no, like.
It was like that. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, no.
That's
Okay.
neither here nor there.
Not to go
Yes.
too far off topic, but based on that, if you ever get a chance, try to go on YouTube or someplace to find somebody who could do a really good impression of whoever the English voice actors did for Rini. Did a version of the real Sugar Baby. It was like the real Slim Shady, but it was called the real Sugar Baby.
oh, that's
Just
cute.
look it up. You'll never be able to unhear it.
That's okay. Well, I don't know if I want to look it up then.
You should do it.
Anyway, so that's basically how Sailor Moon Act 14 ends with the introduction of Chibi, and hopefully we end up liking her. I know, I'm such a hater of
Did
her.
you guys see you waited till after the credits to see the preview for the next episode?
Yes.
Again, really liking this because I watching on Hulu now the whole dubbed of the anime and they're in the middle of R right now. She doesn't seem to have the future Imperial Silver Crystal on her. But they do show it with her around her neck with the key in the manga, and they show in the episode that she does have it. So that's like, again, something that I really like. Like, let's put more clues in to show that there's two things of everything. Like, I really like that. I'm really excited to see what we're going to see next episode.
Yeah, which we have to wait 2 weeks for.
Still
guys have-
better than like 5 months or
That's
something.
true.
It's very true.
Do you guys have anything else you want to touch base on regarding this act?
I will say that I like the whole Dark Moon arc.
Okay.
I like as a whole, I do like that story arc. Definitely some issues with certain characters and everything.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. But I do like this arc coming up, so I am excited, and I'm definitely excited to see Pluto when we finally get to her.
All of them. Yeah, me too. And I wish again that we got to see the Four Kingsmen again, but
Yeah. And I was
I miss them already.
Yeah, and I'm still really happy because I'm still really happy that they touched a lot on that basis of the relationship between the sailors. I want to say sailor soldiers. I'm tired of. I was like one of those angry, like it's sailor soldiers, not scouts. When I was
Not
like
me.
15.
I
and-
like Sailor Scout.
I like scouts too.
but I really like that they showed that part of their relationship and everything, and bringing more into effect closer to the actual story that I can never say her last name. Naoko.
Oh, I forgot her last name.
We're sorry, fans. We're
I
sorry.
forgot her last name.
But yeah, and
yes,
so that's
speaking
why
of.
I'm really excited to see, because they've been following so closely to what we're used to reading. I'm really excited to see what they decide to keep and how they animate it and how it goes through. And I really, really hope that they do a little bit more with her Usagi's transformation. I mean, come on, this is
They have to.
They have
it's,
to.
It's a different arc. It's a different power.
They're not gonna change it up until she probably becomes Super Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Once she gets that
See some wings
the
or
chalice.
something.
Once she gets the chalice, then we'll get a new transformation.
Or they might creep it up on us again. Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows? So let's head on to some news and gossip. Just got a little bit going on. Oh, there we go.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, well, first
This
of
is so
all,
funny.
I wanted to show people that in Japan they are currently selling
Yes.
moon prism contacts.
Yes, I
That's
saw
right.
these.
So we've got Jupiter, Mercury, Moon, Mars, and Venus on sale. So if you want to not only have color contacts, but contacts with symbolism in there.
For those listening on the iTunes
Yes.
portion, what about these contacts makes them different from other contacts?
Well, because every single contact, for example, Jupiter's contact is green, true to Jupiter color, but it also has Jupiter's symbols in there. So you
And
can,
like moon is well, I would assume hers would be like more pink or something. Hers is just like gold with little moon symbols in it.
and you can just like really just gaze into the person's eyes. and
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, you might be a Sailor Senshi.
Yes. Sailor Senshi. I hate it though because like I have incredibly poor vision, so I would have to wear these with my glasses, and then I'm just gonna have to like force my face into other people's faces to make them notice.
Well, you know, like just contacts in general, like especially color ones, you need
Yeah, but like if you're wearing
Tone
glasses
long.
on top of them in general, it's gonna be hard to see. So I just put Megan, look.
just hold Megan's hand the whole entire time. So
I
you know
will.
where you're going.
I'll do it.
And also announcement is that Sailor Moon Crystal is going to get a Japanese TV broadcast. So in Japan, starting in April, you can actually see it on TV, and it won't be just on Crunchyroll or Hulu or wherever you happen to watch it, like us America jeans. So that being said, that's pretty cool news. And yeah, that's my quick.
Have there been any announcements about dubbing Sailor Moon Crystal yet? Because I would just imagine that they would take the same cast as the new redub of the old one, but
But
I
depends if
haven't
they
heard
can
any announcements.
Oh, you're talking about like the classic redubs, it's taking them over?
Yeah.
I would imagine they would. I have no idea. This is just me speculating, but I would imagine that they would use a different cast because it's kind of a different story.
It's just that certain companies are doing simulcasts of dubs and subs now on a weekly basis, and I was really surprised that they're not doing that for Sailor Moon Crystal, but maybe they're just trying to record for all of the original series before they get working on this one.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but
I'm perfectly happy brushing up on my Japanese and listening to it and reading the subtitles.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that for right now. It's just weird to have not heard anything.
Yeah.
I also think, well, if you think about it, if they start recording, I mean, obviously they probably get the episodes that we haven't seen yet to record and work with, but they're probably going to be introducing characters that they might, by the time they cast for that character, they might not have cast for it in the other series. So they might
true.
have to hire somebody because maybe that voice actor has other things going. So maybe that's why they're just trying to like wait. It depends on scheduling and everything like that. Like, I mean, we've had enough voice actors in the studio to know that they are very busy people. So
Yes, for sure.
But I'm excited, yeah, and I'm like really looking forward to it. But like you said, I'm perfectly fine with the subtitles. They're so cute the way they say certain words. Like I said, I kept on laughing at how Usagi says "queen." I think it's the most adorable thing ever, and I want it as my text message notification. Queen.
I can't imagine having that. I don't know if I'd be excited hearing that as my text notification.
Oh, I get it'd get old after like 48 hours, but in the meantime.
That was a good question, Megan. Yeah.
Okay.
Good points.
If anybody has any news out there, feel free to tweet it at us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, because we love Sailor Moon. So that being said, that pretty much concludes this Sunday's AfterBuzz recap show.
Not long enough.
And stay tuned because in 2 weeks we'll have another one for you, which is Act 15 and the official beginning of the next act as well. In the meantime, you guys can continue to follow everybody. Where? At
You can follow me on Twitter at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin. And I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, including Gallivant later tonight.
Yeah.
Good show. I've been watching. That shit's funny. Sorry. I kind of cuss a little. Okay, anyway.
It's okay. We were doing a show where like the dad and the daughter have a thing. So
Yeah, okay.
Anywho, my name is Liz Rishmawy, guys. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Lizzie Maui. That's LIZZYMAWY. Also, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be doing season 2 of Helix, which I'm really excited about. So check it out.
Thanks for joining us, Liz.
Thank you. I'm so
You're
excited.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We would love to have you again.
I will keep that in mind.
And you can find me on Twitter as well as Instagram, KAORIOUS, Kaorius. I have also started to stream on Twitch TV, so check me out there. And then you can catch a whole entire AfterBuzz team at AfterBuzz TV. And go on YouTube, subscribe, go on iTunes, comment, rate, all that juicy stuff. We'll catch you guys pretty soon. Later.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.